So to change, in the design file, click on that pencil. Over on the other side of your screen, down underneath the view cube, you'll say, well, you'll see a little dialog box and get the chance to pick what kind of file you want to change it to. Now, there are some, I don't know, challenges, gotchas, whatever you want to call it, with going to certain cases, certain paths. We're going to take a look at those. First of all, here's an example of a part file. It does say part file right here, but I've got two bodies in it. I'm telling it to change to an assembly. And it's looking at it and saying, well, look, you've got a pair of bodies in here. If you change this to an assembly, those bodies will be part of the assembly. Wow, that just kind of went against that one of assemblies being nothing but externally linked in stuff. Okay. If you want to just add it to an existing assembly, did you hit the wrong button? And that is the default. I appreciate it. But that's, if I went and said convert the design, I would have an assembly file with a couple of bodies in it. Not quite, in my mind, the ideal thing. Also, if I was going to take an assembly, well, a hybrid file that currently has internal components in, what do you want to do that? If I was changing a hybrid to an assembly file, do I want to just flat out convert it? In which case I'm going to have these internal components that are kind of static in there. Or do I want to convert and enable essentially edit in place for those internal components? It's kind of gray area between an assembly file and a hybrid at that point. It's not really one, not really the other. Now, personal opinion, I would go and leave these as hybrids or convert to hybrids and then work through if I want to do additional cleaning up to make it into a pure assembly by exporting some pieces or what. And here's my reasoning. So I can convert a part to an assembly, but like I was saying, that's kind of a hybrid, kind of not, it's kind of weird. Hybrid, to me, yeah, definitely a better choice. If I convert it to a hybrid, there's no issues. It's just, boom, okay, it's a hybrid now. If I wanted to convert an assembly to a part, if you've already got components in there, that option's grayed out. You can't do it. So if you've linked in any outside components, if you've built any internal components, you can't make it into a part file. If I want to convert an assembly to a hybrid, again, no issues. If I've got an existing hybrid, it won't let me save it to a part file if there are components in it. Kind of the same as trying to make an assembly into a part file. It's like, nope, sorry. But I could make it into an assembly file if all those components were externally linked in components. And that might be a case of taking those external components, those internal components and saving them out as new external files and then linking them back in. Yeah, keep it a hybrid, personal opinion. Now here's where some of those issues can come in. Why is it just not straightforward? I've got a very, very simple assembly here. Brilliant names, component one, component two. Component one's that gold brick and component two's that aluminum cylinder on top of it. And that cylinder on top, the sketch is sitting on top of the gold brick. My settings are that I automatically project. So I've got the top shape of that brick projected onto the new sketch for the cylinder. And I use that to drive the size of the piece. I've got some cross-body projections going on. I've got some things that are being referenced from component one into component two. There's a look at it. I activated and edited the sketch for component 2, and you can see those purple lines are the ones that were projected, in this case automatically, so my preferences. And that circle is tangent to those three. Now, when I kicked it out, when I saved it out as a new external component, I have this uh, vestige coming over from the original. That, what you see is the reconstructed plane. Autodesk phrasing, not mine. That was the automatic name. That was essentially the top of the brick. So it's got a work plane. The actual origin planes are lower down in this file. I just don't have them turned on here. That vestige shows up in the browser as the reconstructed plane, shows up on the screen uh, as that rectangle. It's blue because I have it highlighted, and it shows up down the timeline as that. I don't remember exactly what it said. I think just reference.